On December 7, 2017, the Sestroretsky District Court of St. Petersburg issued an unprecedented decision to confiscate the large national office in St. Petersburg of a foreign organization by invalidating a 17-year-old contract.
We're talking about 14 buildings with a total area of 33,000 square meters. They're situated on approximately 25 acres of a beautiful landscaped area in the village of Solnechnaya in the Kurortny district of St. Petersburg. This facility was transferred to the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society of Pennsylvania back in 2000.
During a 4-hour court hearing, overwhelming evidence was presented that proved the validity of the transfer of the facility to the foreign owner.
For example, in 2007, the transfer of the property to the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society of Pennsylvania was thoroughly examined by the prosecutor's office. No violations were exposed and no claims were made.
The Watchtower Society had to pay taxes, though the administrative center, as a religious organization that was legally registered in Russia, was exempted from paying land and real estate taxes. Over the years, the Watchtower Society has paid considerable taxes to the Russian Federation, about $3 million. It's obvious that if this had been a fraudulent deal just on paper, nobody would have spent this much money.
Significantly, the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society of Pennsylvania was not allowed to take part in the hearing in April 2017. At that time, the Supreme Court refused to admit the organization into the case, stating that its interests were not affected by the dispute.
To explain it in simple terms, let's imagine that I am the owner of an apartment in which my relative lives. Law enforcement officers charge my relative with some violations, perhaps on contrived grounds. Then government representatives come to me and say, "Hand over the apartment." I ask, why? They answer, "Because in our opinion your relative has broken the law." I say, "Excuse me, I haven't broken the law. I haven't been charged with anything. Why are you taking away my property?" But regardless, they say, "Yes, we are taking it."
It is noteworthy that the Russian Federation did not fund the construction of this facility. Jehovah's Witnesses legally purchased an abandoned children's camp situated on this plot of land from a Russian company.
The facility was built using funds from foreign religious organizations and by the hands of the parishioners themselves. So it's logical that these buildings were eventually given to the Watchtower Society, which initially requested their construction.
We witnessed our fellow believers from many countries taking part in this project with great enthusiasm and a self-sacrificing spirit. They came with their trailers and lived in them. I mean, people made sacrifices to build it. Today, we're witnessing how everything that was built with all this love and sacrifice is being taken away for nothing. It's very sad and painful.
I feel that a part of my heart is being torn away. The air, the landscape, everything that is there. It's like a part of me.
Something like this has occurred only once in the history of Russia, 100 years ago in 1918. At that time, the Council of People's Commissars issued a decree to take away all the property of the Russian Orthodox Church. The ruling of the Sestroretsky District Court has no precedent in the history of modern Russia.
According to normal human reasoning, this is robbery. It's a kind of violence. The same kind of violence that happened when worshippers were discriminated against because of their faith, or were insulted when their services were being graded. Now they are trying to strip them of everything, down to their very last possession.
I think that the Russian government will have to start the same kind of partial restitution of religious property that has been taking place since 2010 with regard to the Russian Orthodox Church. And the state will definitely have to return to the principles of freedom of religion sooner or later. This will mean returning to Jehovah's Witnesses everything that is being confiscated now.
If the case is heard strictly in accordance with the law, we believe the decision of the Sestroretsky District Court should be cancelled and the prosecutor's claim denied. If some other motives prevail, well, we'll continue the appeal process.
All the property that is being subject to seizure was dedicated by Jehovah's Witnesses to Jehovah God. So we believe they are owned by God and are being taken away from God. But the Bible teaches us to throw all our anxiety on Him.